Well, hello and welcome back. Export 12 here, and today we're going to continue our game of Dyson Sphere Program. So last we left off, we were just playing around with the interstellar logistics stations. Today, well, we're just going to get a bunch of random few things done. So first off, I'm just going to make it so that I made it so this planetary logistics station here would actually be demanding titanium, and so just have that being brought out and fed into titanium crystal production, and then made sure that it's limited to a certain amount, and then went to check on the organic crystals and realized, oh, I didn't have them all being set up with the appropriate production, appropriate things in. Like, I didn't have the refined oil and that going in. So I just did that, and then came over and decided, okay, I'll just get the rest of this vein of coal over here. It's being mined up and feed that back into where it can be processed. And coming back over to where I was doing all my smelting everything. Whereas I didn't actually connect the last 6 on the magnets ones up. So just did that quickly, and then going around finding all these random veins that I need to actually mine up so I can actually get more resources. So just go through and connect a bunch of these up into some planetary stations that are close by. Also made sure that they're all correctly done. So it wasn't too hard. I just also needed to make sure that they all had power and whatnot. And yeah. Then it's just a matter of thinking about what I'm going to do next. Make sure that everything was running in smoothly, which it all seems to be, so that was good. And then came over here thinking, I should actually start mining out these oil seeps, stone, and that coal vein back there. So placed the logistics station down, and then went and grabbed a bunch of stuff to make all the extractors for the seeps. Got those down and feeding into the planetary logistics station. And then also went through and got the stone vein being mined and make sure that was connected up as well. A lot of this is just going through a bunch of different veins and connecting them up at the moment. It's all well and good because it needed for be able to make room later on, but yeah. Then power, and I think I had to go and grab a few more things to be able to get this coal vein being mined up as well. So probably was just the transport, because go through so many of those when doing it like this. Didn't quite go for a full coverage round, but still got as much in as I could without having to place foundations down. Just had to connect everything up, and yeah, coming down here then I realized, oh, there was a tropic here, a line. So figuring how to get best way to get it through, and then pressing the keys and everything, I got it down nicely. And I just needed to bring the last line down, but as you can tell, I had run out of transport belts, so I had to quickly run down to my production center and grab a few more. Not the first time and not the last time in this episode, so yeah. Just going through, make sure everything's connected to power and have everything running. And yes, I just noticed then that there was one that wasn't powered. So where we got the microcrystalline construction done last time, I figured, okay, this base here, I will set up the oil refining here. So just went through and figuring out exactly how I'm going to do it. First off I thought, oh, I could do it down that way, and realized, no, I can actually have the shorter end going down, because, yeah. So got that going, feeding out the raw oil, and figuring out how I'm going to do a few things. But also realizing, yeah, I want to get the proliferated going as well, spray coated going, so that get more. Now I'm just figuring out exactly how I'm going to bring the raw resources over. figured, I can bring it out like this. That way I've got a nicer way. And this is just me setting up the first two so I can easily make use of blueprints, which this first one was not going to work because of how it is. And then just getting the output for the other side done as well. Which is all well and good, which, yeah. Getting saws all set up, which, yes, I forgot to set the filters here, but it probably isn't a big deal with filters for multiple outputs. But I just wanted to make sure that everything was nice and clean, so I wanted to set the filters as well. Just adding a few more things and copying it down, and here's where I figured out. Yep, remembered that because I had it going up the side there, I need to redo this section here and have it coming out to feed into that one belt there. But with that, I was able to easily copy it and paste them down, but first, I wanted to make sure that the input line was actually able to work. So, those sticking out parts were just there to make sure that everything works nicely. So, copied it and pasted it down like another 3 times, and we got a decent amount of smelting, not smelting, or refining going on here. So, it's all well and good. And yeah, so that done, I had to go and grab some more belts because always running out of belts. So I just quickly came back and got the rest of this up and running, and we are looking very good here for things. It's actually progressing very nicely, being able to, as I'm getting more and more things actually set up. And then here I figured, okay, if I got the proliferator, I might as well set it up so I can have the proliferators spray coating on the outputs as well. So just made sure there was enough space to fit another spray coater in and connect them all up, and bam, we're having the outputs getting sprayed. And then I go, might as well just get rid of the ones that doesn't have the coating. And so yeah, grabbed as much of the hydrogen out that wasn't coated, and then dealing with that, and also did the same for the refined fuel, and then just straight up deleted those because I didn't really think that there was another way I could have gone about it, which is doing right here and just grabbing the whole bunch and throwing it onto the conveyor belt, which that worked. Got through that. Then after that, I was thinking, I think I want to. Yep, that's right. The spray coaters here. I want to throw the proliferated spray coating onto these ones here, onto the energetic graphite being fed into my power, because that'll actually increase how much power that I'm going to get from them. So that's all good. So got that set up and running, made sure everything was running smoothly, and that we had enough throughputs of everything, and also that the energetic graphite was getting the spray coating, which is slowly building up, and just waiting, make sure, and bam, that got it all. So that all done, I came back to where I had my first lot, original oil refining. Just got rid of it and made sure that the refined fuel oil here was being a demand and coming out there. And with those 4, I just came back to where I was doing new processing, and just placed them down and made sure that everything was powered up. So we have like quite a lot of processing power going on there. And I was thinking, hey, I will get all the motors situations started going. So I started with that, placed down the planetary logistics station and the conveyor belts, got some research completed, and then realized, oh, I need to update this copper because we're not getting any proliferated stuff. So came over to the copper, removed the station there so I could move it back a bit, and got another research done there, just reading up on what the photon combiner does. But then I'll place a bunch of belts down to get a bit of spacing. Then I realized I don't need 3 belts here, I only need 2. So went through and just moved one side closer, and then had to go through and place all the sorters down to make sure that they work. So that wasn't too hard. Very simple. After that, I realized probably need a few more things to get a couple more spray coaters, so grabbed the resources, quickly built those up, and just placed them down in such a way so that it's easy enough to do. And then got the logistics station down yet again and made sure that it was set up properly. Dump all the copper stuff in there. And then also get the perforator fluid being demanded and feed that in, and just had to make sure it was all powered. But then at this point I realized, oh, my Angie situation's not looking good. So I came over to check how the Android graphite's going and going, yeah, we don't actually have enough production. So as a quick kind of hodgepodge remedy, I just disconnected pretty much all the wires from everything except the Android graphite production. And once it was done, we had the tech, which I just quickly going pull solar stuff to actually continue on to Dyson Sphere and going, yeah, that might help solve energy problems. After that, I came over here to where my smelting arrays were, going, okay, I'm going to get set up better electric Android graphite production. And because I'd realized before that it was actually arc smelters going, I can easily use the setup I had before my arc smelters. So came across going, yep, just place them down, place a whole bunch of arc smelters down, get the inputs done, waited until the logistics station was down so I could actually change up the inputs and outputs over here. So I was actually working with Android graphite. And then we just grabbed a bunch of magnets so we could get the spray codes being made, and then went through and just populated the entire area with the recipe I wanted in for all those arc smelters. Took a little bit and then just had to go through and make sure all the arc smelters were built and everything. But I was also out of sorters here, so that wasn't any good. But we got everything built down and figured might as well just get everything powered up as well. So quickly went through, got everything powered up, and yeah, it's good. And also there's like a few other things that's flying around on my way back to grab the sorters. A few things I figured, oh, they didn't have power, so I quickly got them placed down. Came back, got all the sorters built, and then went about seeing how much we're going here. And it's probably at this point that, yeah, no, it wasn't. But we got the first row, just went through and actually started getting all the rows down. And we actually got all the way up to the solar cell technology being researched, done. So, went through all that, made sure that everything's connected up. And when I was checking out, going, oh, it's only not going all the way through. So I figured, how can I increase the production? Then I realized, I have a bunch of empty slots I can pull out from the logistics station here. So what if I use the stacker? A bunch of time trying to figuring out that, oh, I can't fit that in line. So with a bit of reconfiguring, I was able to get the perforated fluid out of the middle one and bring 2 lines of coal out to get them stacked up to 2 on top of each other, and with a full line coming through, and feeding that back into the perforator, and yep, instantly see that pretty much the whole line was getting done. That was good because we're feeding twice as much coal through. So I just went through and squeezed it all in elsewhere as well. And also, but I need to make some more of the stackers, so made enough to get this done, and yeah, just waiting for it to be done. But this is actually pretty cool, these stackers working with there as well, because you're able to fit way more in. So did that, made sure everything was connected up, and then ran out of transport belts yet again, so I had to head back down and grab another stack. Probably should actually expand that out so it can get more than just a stack, but it's fine. Then just made sure that one was middle one's connected up. Went down the back and saw, yep, we're getting a decent amount through. And then still just waiting on the couple of stackers, and then also figuring out how I'm going to place this down. Figured, easy enough. Place the stackers in here, feed the belts into them, make sure they're coming out their own ones, and then connect them both up, make sure it's powered, and oh yeah, there's a few things that snuck through, but we got them done. And yeah, with that, we actually got quite a bit of power generation, or more energetic graphite being done. So I came back to the power system, or thermal power plants, figured, okay, I want to get more with it, yeah, with the idea that I want to get more energetic graphite coming through here. So I was coming over here figuring out exactly how to go about this, and also looking at the difference between the ray receiver and everything, because that got done, check out research as well. So then just prepared to remove everything, because I was originally thinking that whenever you destroy a statistics station, if you don't remove the drawings from it, they get destroyed, which is annoying, but hey. That was me just preparing, making sure that there was no excess stuff in there. Placing down a couple of storage chests so I could actually place them down. And then actually getting the replacement interstellar logistics station, because they can have twice as many drones in there. And then transfer a whole bunch of the empty coal over. And place it all in the storage as well, which I unintentionally placed the interstellar logistics stations, so yeah, need to pick those up. And then when I was going to try placing it down, I realized the other planetary logistics station was in the way. So remove that, quick go through and set up the interstellar logistics station for what we have, and connect it back up with like all 12 of the outputs I have here, which is kind of insane. But once that was done with the appropriate outputs, place everything down, because just about had the energetic graphite production all being sprayed, it was done. But also need to kickstart it again because pretty much the grid had died, so just grabbed a bunch of graphite, threw them in, fueled up, and that was enough to get it started. And I was thinking, how am I going to connect this back up again? I figured, screw it, I'll do that, bother with that later. So just went around and reconnected everything back up again, and got the engine grid back up, and everything was running smoothly. Just making sure everything's going well. And yeah, just running around checking everything, and yeah, it's a pretty good spot to call the end here. So yeah.